Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, where did my energy go? Or maybe, in the quiet of the night, when everything is still, you catch yourself reflecting, not on what you've lost, but on what you miss feeling. That spark, that fire, that inner confidence that once came so naturally. You're not alone. I've spoken to hundreds of men over 60 who have shared the same quiet frustrations. They tell me they feel slower. They say intimacy doesn't feel the same. Some confess they've started to doubt themselves, not because they've done anything wrong, but simply because aging seems to be rewriting the rules on them, one silent change at a time. But here's the truth I want you to hear loud and clear today. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. And you absolutely can reclaim your energy, your confidence, and yes, your performance, starting with something as simple as a tiny spice that might already be sitting in your kitchen drawer. My name is Dr. Eliana, and for over 2 decades, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds, helping them rediscover their vitality, not through invasive treatments or expensive prescriptions, but by reconnecting with their body's natural power. Today, I want to share with you something that surprised even me when I first came across the research. Something natural, something powerful, and something most men never imagined could make such a profound difference. Cloves. Yes, cloves. That small, fragrant spice you might associate with holiday desserts or herbal teas. But beneath its humble appearance is a powerhouse of healing. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you how chewing a single clove for just 60 seconds a day can awaken your body's circulation, reduce stress, boost testosterone, and even improve your sleep, all without a single pill or prescription. But before we dive into the science, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I had a patient, let's call him Raj. Raj was 67. He was a retired school principal, sharp-minded, kind, and deeply in love with his wife of 42 years. But over time, he noticed something was changing. He felt tired even after sleep. He struggled with intimacy, which left him feeling embarrassed and distant. He tried pills, but they gave him headaches and left him feeling disconnected. Worse, he began to feel like he was losing a part of himself. When Raj came to me, he didn't ask for a miracle. He just wanted to feel like himself again. That's when I told him about a small study I'd been following involving eugenol, a compound found in cloves. I suggested something simple. Chew 1 whole clove each day, slowly, for about 60 seconds. No changes to his medications, no pressure, just 1 clove, 1 minute. He laughed. That's it? He asked. I smiled. That's the start. What happened over the next few weeks was astonishing, not just to him, but to his wife, his energy, and even his doctor friends who couldn't believe the change. By day 7, he was sleeping deeper. By day 14, he said his morning energy returned along with morning erections. By day 30, he said, Eliana, I feel like myself again. Maybe even better. So what's the secret? Let's take a closer look together. You see, the body is not a machine that breaks down over time. It's more like a garden. It needs the right inputs to bloom, even in later seasons. And cloves, this tiny spice, might be just the fertilizer your body has been waiting for. The heart of it all is eugenol, a natural compound in cloves that acts as a vasodilator, a fancy way of saying it helps your blood vessels relax and expand. When vessels become stiff with age, which they do, it becomes harder for blood to flow freely. That means less oxygen, less circulation, and yes, weaker erections. Most pills for performance try to force your vessels open, but eugenol works differently. It supports your body's natural ability to open blood vessels, helping restore flexibility gently and safely. Think of it like oiling a rusted pipe. You're not forcing it, you're renewing it. But that's not all. Cloves also contain beta-caryophyllene, another plant-based compound that affects the brain's stress centers. When you're constantly stressed, even in subtle ways, your body pumps out cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol pushes testosterone down. It blocks sleep. It shrinks desire. But beta-caryophyllene tells your nervous system, it's okay. You're safe. You can rest now. And when your stress levels go down, testosterone begins to rise naturally. Sleep deepens. Blood flows stronger. You begin to feel things again, not just physically, but emotionally. That's why I say this isn't just about performance. It's about connection to your body, your partner, your sense of manhood. And there's more, so much more. Cloves also fight oral inflammation, which is another silent enemy of male health. Did you know that gum disease can damage your blood vessels and even lead to erectile dysfunction? It's true, but cloves, with their powerful antiseptic oils, help clear the bacteria and protect those delicate arteries that lead to your heart and your most private parts. It's all connected. Every part of you, your heart, your hormones, your mood, your blood flow, they're all part of one beautiful system. And when you support it with the right natural inputs, you don't just survive, you thrive. So, here's what I want you to remember today. If you're over 60 and struggling with fatigue, low desire, or performance challenges, it's not your fault. And it's not permanent. Your body is asking for help, not punishment, not shame, just help. And the help might be smaller than you think. Tomorrow morning, or even tonight before bed, take one whole clove, pop it in your mouth, chew it gently for 60 seconds, let the oils release, let your body wake up. Do it again the next day, and the next. This is your beginning. In just 1 minute a day, you could set in motion a powerful healing process, one that's been waiting inside you all along. This is not hype. This is nature. This is science. And this is you taking back control, one small sacred step at a time. Dr. Eliana smiles, gently folding her hands. You deserve to feel alive again. You deserve connection. You deserve to thrive, not just live. And I'm here with you, every step of the way. Now, let me take you a little deeper into what actually happens inside the body when you start chewing a clove each day. I know it sounds almost too simple, right? Just a tiny clove? But let me tell you something, as your trusted health guide, nature often hides the most powerful remedies in the humblest packages. And as someone who has spent over 30 years working with men who feel like their best days are behind them, I can tell you, those best days can return. And it often starts with something as small as this. Let's talk about blood vessels for a moment. You see, your ability to feel alive, full of energy, mentally sharp, and yes, sexually confident, is all tied back to one fundamental system: your circulation. When your blood flows freely, every organ, every muscle, and every nerve gets the oxygen and nutrients it needs. But when your blood vessels are constricted, clogged, or inflamed, things slow down, or worse, stop working. That's where cloves come in. The magic begins with a natural compound called eugenol. Eugenol acts almost like a whisper to your blood vessels. It gently tells them to relax, to open up, to stop being stiff and tense. Now think about that. As we age, so many parts of our body become tight, rigid, or sluggish, and that includes the arteries that carry life-giving blood. Chewing a clove for 60 seconds releases eugenol directly into the bloodstream through the soft tissues of the mouth. No pills, no complicated regimens, just a little help from nature. And this isn't just theory. Within days of using the 60-second clove method, many men report that their fingers and toes feel warmer. Why? Because circulation is improving. That same effect happens where it matters most for male vitality. Better blood flow means stronger, more reliable erections. And I want to be very clear about something here. This is not about vanity. This is about health, about keeping your body in tune, your hormones balanced, your confidence intact. Now, let me share a story. One of my patients, Rajesh, age 67, came to me feeling defeated. His sleep was broken. He had stopped initiating intimacy because he felt it was just too frustrating. And worst of all, he thought this was just his fate now. I guess this is what old age looks like, he said to me. But I knew better, and I could see he wanted to believe me. So I asked him to try the clove method every morning. Just one clove. Chew it slowly. Let it sit in the mouth for at least a minute. That's all. He looked at me with doubt in his eyes, but he agreed. 1 week later, Rajesh called. He told me he had felt tingling in his legs for the first time in years. His sleep had deepened, and he chuckled he had started waking up with morning erections again. Now, this is just one case, but it mirrors hundreds of others I've seen. The body responds to care. It wants to heal. We just have to give it the right tools. Now, let's look at what else clothes can do. You may not know this, but one of the biggest silent enemies of male health is chronic stress. That constant underlying tension, whether it's from finances, family, health worries, or even just years of pushing yourself too hard, can drain you. It wears on the adrenal glands. It elevates cortisol, and when cortisol is high, testosterone takes a nosedive. Clothes, through a compound called beta-caryophyllene, help shift that stress response. This little molecule interacts with receptors in your nervous system, creating a sense of calm. Not sedation, just balance. That means your body gets to step out of fight or flight mode and enter rest and repair mode. This is the state where healing happens. Hormones rebalance, muscles regenerate, and yes, sexual function returns. This is why I recommend chewing your clove in the evening if stress is your major concern. Many men I work with take their clove about 30 minutes after dinner. They chew slowly, breathe deeply, and let the calming oils coat the inside of their mouth. They tell me it helps them wind down. It prepares the body for sleep, and we'll talk more about why sleep is such a major piece of this puzzle in the next segment. But first, there's something else very important I want to bring up: oral health. I know that may seem unrelated, but stay with me. Did you know that gum disease is one of the most overlooked contributors to erectile dysfunction? It's true. Inflammation in the gums spreads through the bloodstream. It damages the lining of blood vessels, and over time, that inflammation narrows your circulation and puts extra strain on your heart and reproductive system. Here's where cloves work their magic again. Eugenol is a powerful antiseptic. When you chew a clove, it doesn't just help your arteries, it cleanses your mouth. It kills harmful bacteria. It strengthens your gums. It helps prevent infection and even supports healing in places where the gum might be receding. Think of it as brushing your blood vessels and your gums at the same time with nature's own toothbrush. This is the holistic beauty of what we're talking about today. You're not just fixing one problem. You're creating a cascade of healing. Improve blood flow, and your heart gets stronger. Reduce stress, and your hormones rebalance. Support oral health, and you protect your arteries. Sleep better, and your body repairs itself every night. All from one simple, consistent habit. Let's take a moment to reflect on how rare that is. So often, we're told that health requires huge, overwhelming changes. But here, the shift is gentle, accessible, and rooted in something ancient. Our grandfathers and great-grandfathers used cloves for everything from pain to digestion. And now, science confirms they were right. This isn't superstition. It's smart, modern self-care.so. If you're a man over 60 watching this right now, and you've been feeling a little less like yourself, maybe your energy dips in the afternoon, maybe your confidence has taken a hit, or maybe you just want to feel that spark of vitality again, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You're not past your prime. You're simply in a new chapter, and your body is asking for something different. This 1-minute ritual with a clove each day may be the simplest, most powerful first step you can take. And we're just getting started. And that brings us to the next essential truth. One that many men never consider until it's too late: gum health. Yes, your gums might be silently hurting your erections. I know, it sounds surprising at first, but bear with me. Gum disease isn't just about bad breath or losing teeth. It's actually a hidden source of systemic inflammation that directly damages blood vessels, including those vital for sexual performance. Inflammation in your gums releases bacteria and toxins into the bloodstream, and over time, this clogs, stiffens, and narrows your arteries. That same narrowing that affects your heart also affects the small, delicate vessels that supply blood to your penis. Now think about that the next time you consider skipping your evening brush or floss. The good news? Cloves, which we talked about earlier, are potent antiseptics. They naturally kill off harmful bacteria in the mouth, and reduce gum inflammation. When used daily, even something as simple as chewing a clove slowly before bed can improve oral hygiene, support vascular function, and indirectly help maintain sexual health. It's a small act with big consequences. But of course, no solution works in isolation. The body works in beautiful harmony, and if we truly want to restore and maintain our energy, vitality, and confidence, we need to consider one more critical pillar: sleep. Let's talk honestly here. How many of you are actually sleeping well? And I don't mean just lying in bed for 6-8 hours, I mean deep, restful, uninterrupted sleep that leaves you feeling refreshed. As we get older, our sleep often becomes fragmented. We wake up more frequently, spend less time in REM sleep, and sometimes even struggle to fall asleep altogether. And you know what happens when we don't get good sleep? Our testosterone levels drop, our stress levels rise, our metabolism slows down, our energy dips, and yes, our sexual function takes a hit too. This is why cloves can play a surprisingly big role. Thanks to a compound called beta-caryophyllene, cloves naturally interact with receptors in the brain that promote a sense of calm. They help regulate the nervous system, reduce the fight or flight stress response, and gently encourage deeper rest. So, if you chew a clove before bedtime, not only are you cleaning your mouth and reducing inflammation, but you're also helping your brain slip into a more relaxed state, which can lead to better sleep and a stronger hormonal recovery during the night. One of my patients, Mr. Ryan, age 67, came to me exhausted. He told me, "Dr. Eliana, I feel like I'm fading. I don't sleep well. I don't feel like myself in the mornings. My confidence is gone." He wasn't depressed, but he wasn't thriving either. I introduced him to this clove method, explained the connection to oral health, circulation, sleep, and hormones. Within 2 weeks, he noticed deeper sleep and more energy in the mornings. Within 4 weeks, he reported waking up with morning erections again. He said it felt like someone had flipped a switch inside him. That's the magic of supporting the body, not forcing it. We're not treating symptoms, we're nourishing systems. With something as simple as a spice you probably already have in your kitchen, and the key word here is consistency. You can't expect miracles overnight. The clove method is not a quick fix, but it is a gentle, cumulative practice. It restores what time has slowly worn down. With each passing day, you're giving your body the message: I care about you, I support you, I want you to thrive. So many men have been conditioned to believe that decline is inevitable, that once you hit 60, the best parts of life are behind you, that energy, intimacy, confidence, those are things of the past. But that is simply not true. Your body wants to heal, it wants to work well, it just needs the right tools. And the best part? You don't need expensive prescriptions, endless supplements, or risky surgeries. You need knowledge. You need belief, and you need one small daily habit to remind your body that it can come back to life. So if you haven't already started, go to your spice rack, take one whole clove, place it in your mouth after dinner or before bed, and slowly chew it for about 60 seconds. Let its oils touch your gums. Let its scent relax your mind. Do it every night. Track your sleep, your energy, your morning health. You may be surprised at what unfolds. In just a moment, we'll bring this all together with a closing message to empower you even further, because this isn't just about sexual health or physical strength. It's about reclaiming ownership of your well-being at every level, body, mind, and soul. So stay with me, we're almost there. And now, we come to the part most men quietly crave, but often don't talk about: the restoration of self-confidence. You see, vitality isn't just about energy or function. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. It's about reclaiming that steady, quiet pride in being able to show up as the man you truly are. After 60, a lot of men start to believe that their best days are behind them. But let me tell you something very clearly. That belief is not your truth. That belief is a story you were told by society, not your biology. Your body is not a machine that rusts beyond repair. It is alive. It listens. It changes. And with the right care, it regenerates. That's why I keep returning to something as simple and humble as a clove. This small spice holds the power to shift your body into healing mode. But even more powerful than the spice itself is the consistency of your actions. When you choose to chew a clove every day, you're not just treating your body, you're sending a signal to your brain. I am worth this care. I am still growing. I am still strong. I had a patient, Mr. Das, 67 years old, who came to me frustrated and embarrassed. He hadn't had a morning erection in over a year. He said he felt like he was fading, like his body was shutting down. I could see the shame in his eyes. I asked him one simple question: are you ready to take care of yourself again, even in a small way? He said, yes. We started with the 60-second clove method, and nothing else. No pills, no complex diets, just one simple habit. After 1 week, he called me. Something's waking up, he said, voice cracking with emotion. By the 3rd week, he told me he was sleeping better, had started walking in the morning, and was feeling desire again. This is the ripple effect of natural healing. One habit supports another. Better circulation leads to better sleep. Better sleep leads to higher testosterone. Higher testosterone brings back the spark. The body begins to trust itself again. But remember, you are not just a body. You are also a mind and a heart. When you feel ashamed of your struggles, when you isolate or feel unworthy of pleasure, your body listens. That shame becomes tension. That tension becomes inflammation. That inflammation weakens your circulation. So I want you to hear this clearly. There is no shame in wanting to feel alive again. No shame in desiring intimacy, connection, or confidence. In fact, it is your birthright. And as we wrap this up, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling a pulse of energy in your body. Imagine looking at your partner, or even just your own reflection, and feeling proud of the man you are. Not the man you used to be, but the man you still are right now. The 60-second clove method is not just about erections. It's about reclaiming the core of your masculine energy, that quiet, grounded strength that says, I am still here, and I still matter. Take that step. Chew that clove. Honor yourself. Because you deserve to live with power, with connection, and with deep inner peace at any age. Dr. Eliana, soft smile, hands folded gently. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about yourself enough to watch this through. If you found even one piece of this message helpful, share it with a friend or someone you care about. Let's break the silence around aging and intimacy. Let's replace shame with strength. And let's walk forward together, one day, one clove at a time. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Have you ever felt like the world has gone quiet around you, not just in sound, but in touch, in affection, in intimacy? It's something I've heard often from men over 60. Dr. Eliana, I'm not lonely, but I feel untouched. And that single word, untouched, holds so much more weight than we give it credit for. See, touch is not just a physical experience. It's an emotional necessity. As children, we thrived when we were held. As adults, we craved closeness. And now, as older men, that need hasn't disappeared, it's just become less spoken about. But it's still there. That's where this final secret comes in. And I'll be honest, this one is the most powerful of all. Masturbation, yes, even now, especially now, can be a lifeline. Not because you have to do it. Not because it's about staying active, or keeping blood flowing, or just maintaining erections, although those are benefits too, but because it's one of the most private, sacred ways you reconnect with yourself. It's about ownership of your body. It's about intimacy with yourself, not just in the sexual sense, but in the way you pause, breathe, touch your skin, and remind your nervous system, I'm still here. I'm still worthy. I still feel. That might sound overly poetic, but I promise you it's grounded in real, medical truth. When you engage in regular, intentional self-pleasure without rushing, without shame, you're sending messages to your brain. You're stimulating the release of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These are not just feel-good chemicals. These are healing chemicals. They're the reason you feel calm afterward. They're the reason your sleep is deeper. They're the reason your heart rate slows, your anxiety fades, and your immune system quietly improves. There's research that shows how orgasm, yes, even solo, lowers the risk of prostate complications, reduces blood pressure, and even helps with pain relief in older adults. You see, your body is not trying to abandon you. It's begging you to rejoin it. And so many men in their 60s, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds, tell me they've lost the urge. But it's not always the urge that's missing, it's the permission, the feeling that it's still allowed, still normal, still necessary. Let me tell you something. It is, when you don't touch your body, when you don't allow yourself to feel even just occasionally, you start to dissociate from it. You lose connection. That disconnection shows up as depression, as chronic fatigue, as restlessness, as a flatness that nothing else seems to lift. It's not just about sex, it's about being alive. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying masturbation replaces a partner or deeper intimacy, but it can absolutely coexist with both solitude and relationships. In fact, many married or partnered men use it to explore what they like, to keep their response system sharp, to understand their emotional landscape better, and sometimes even to heal past shame. But what if you were raised in a culture, generation, where you were taught it was dirty? What if you were never shown how to do it with care? That's where unlearning and relearning come in. That's why I've worked with so many men to reshape their view, to stop seeing it as a guilty fallback, and start seeing it as what it truly is, a form of self-intimacy. Touching yourself with presence slowly, curiously, gently can be one of the most radical acts of self-care a man can take in his 60s or beyond. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be hard immediately. You don't need to reach climax quickly. In fact, the slower, the better. Let go of porn. Let go of pressure. Instead, try lighting a candle. Put on soft music. Breathe deeply. Don't watch, just feel. Trace your skin. Notice what stirs inside you. Let your arousal rise like a wave, not forced, not rushed, just allowed. This is not about fantasy. This is about returning home to your body. And if you've felt disconnected for a long time, this can be emotional. That's okay. Many men cry after their first mindful experience like this. It's not weakness, it's release. It's healing. It's the nervous system finally unclenching after years, maybe decades, of holding tension. One man in his 70s told me, "I didn't realize how starved I was for touch until I gave myself permission to feel it again." It wasn't about sex. It was about finally coming back to myself. So, if nothing else from this video stays with you, let this be the message. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. You are not beyond touch or desire or the power of pleasure. You are still capable. You are still worthy. And this simple act, a few moments with yourself, now and then, can be one of the strongest tools for restoring not just sexual function, but also peace, confidence, and emotional wholeness. So please, don't let shame steal this from you. Don't let age tell you what's allowed. You write your rules now. Start slow. Be kind. Be present. Be patient. And if you've gone years without even thinking about it, start by just touching your chest, your hands, your thighs. Let it be a ritual. Let it be medicine, because it is. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with one last thought. As we age, the world may touch us less. We may be hugged less, desired less, seen less. But the beauty of self-intimacy is that it asks no permission. It needs no one else. It's a quiet door, always waiting for you to step back through and say, "I still matter. I still feel. I still belong here." That's the power of mindful masturbation, not as a replacement for connection, but as the first step back to it. And I promise you, once you reclaim that connection with yourself, everything else, your health, your confidence, your joy, will begin to shift. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to share your thoughts below. You're not alone. There are thousands of men like you, rediscovering their power, their pleasure, their presence, one moment at a time. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. This is a safe space, a place for truth, growth, and healing. We talk about What matters even when the world doesn't? Until next time, I'm Dr. Eliana. Be kind to yourself. You're more than enough. Here's to feeling again.